I'd like to start with TikTok, if we could, and what they're doing with all of the data that they are collecting from American users. And for one thing, I want to get it on the record that TikTok is collecting a lot of data. I mean, a lot. In terms of its terms of service state, I'm going to quote now, that it collects contact details, content you create, and your location. It collects, I'm still quoting, from third-party social network providers and technical and behavioral information about your use of the platform. And it collects information contained in the messages you send through the TikTok platform and information from your phone book. That's a lot of data. It's pretty comparable to what the massive data harvesting machines like Facebook and Google are scooping up. TikTok was the most downloaded app of 2019, more than any other app in the country. More teenagers are on TikTok now than use Facebook. It counts millions and millions and millions of Americans as users, but it is owned by a Chinese company that includes Chinese Communist Party members in leadership, and it is required under Chinese law to share user data with Beijing. And TikTok has admitted that it has sent user data to China. To put it bluntly, this is a major security risk for the American people. And what kind of data is TikTok collecting as it runs on our phones? A heck of a lot more than you would think. Images, of course, that users post. But TikTok also collects information about the messages that you send, about the apps that you use, the other apps on your phone. It collects the sites that you visit. It collects your search history. It collects your keystrokes. It collects your location data. It stores all of this and maybe lots more. And I can tell you, as the father of two small children who already have many of their friends on social media, even though they're quite young, I find this absolutely horrifying, and we know that it's a national security risk. Since our last hearing on this subject, the Pentagon, the Department of State, the Department of Homeland Security, and the TSA have all banned their employees and service members from using TikTok on government devices. In fact, the Pentagon even went so far as to say that employees should have their children uninstall TikTok from their personal devices. That's pretty extraordinary. But actually, it's only prudent. And that's why...
So this right here is a device that we use for advertising. What it can do is it can detect certain attributes. For example, all I have to do is scan my face, it'll detect it, and it'll extract certain attributes such as my gender, my age, and my expression, as well as an attractiveness score. So for this, you can do a know your customer analysis for retailers or for marketing.
Welcome to the Crypto Teacher. And guys, please like and subscribe. If you do like what you're listening to, please inform your friends and family. It is a very imperative time we get back to learning finances and understanding how the world really works. Now, I want to thank those who have bought books, the Crypto Teacher NWO book, also those who donated to the Cash App Patreon. I'm going to have a newsletter starting in June, the summertime, for you Cash App and Patreon members. So much love. I want to thank you a lot. Now, guys, we want to get into Bitcoin first. Basically, as we look at these stable coins, we see basically it controls the market, plain and simple. The reason why I received a lot of emails asking me how did I know we were going to have a pump in April. The reason how I knew is because the Fed was having a meeting in April. Guys, who controls cryptos? Who controls the stock market? The Fed. They're not going to have the markets down when they're actually speaking. So I knew that the markets will be up. Same way when the market went down, the stock market went down, I told you it'll come right back up, get yourself in position. So therefore you can make money. So the fact is that anytime Jerome Powell is speaking to the people, they're not going to have the markets down. They never do. So that's the reason why I knew we were going to have a pump. Now, basically right now, Bitcoin is around 88. Look at, like I say, you look at the stable coins, of course, they're controlling everything. Now, when it comes to the weekend, what happens on the weekend, guys? We have institutional investors. So the fact is that around the weekend, we either maintain or we go up. And then, of course, Mondays, we have the leg down. And then in the middle of the month, for those who are new to the channel, we have BOC. And then we dump a few days before, a few days after BOC. So the fact is that the stable coins show you everything. So the fact is that was nothing but, that pump has nothing to do with the halving. That has something to do with the actual Fed actually coming to the people, letting us know whether they're going to lower interest rates or not lower interest rates. But I'm going to get into that later on. Now, basically, staying with the cryptos. Basically, we have China, and you saw the videos. We have China basically coming with their digital currency, but they're partnering up with SenseTime. Guys, this is so important. That's the reason why we have to focus on the Fed and China. Don't worry about what America is doing, because we're not doing anything on purpose. So SenseTime is basically facial recognition, using a deep learning, where these computers are starting to have brains, just like humans, starting to think, starting to make choices, having their own language. But SenseTime basically can know your expressions, your race, your gender, so it can recognize everything. Now, guys, this is so important, because you have TikTok, Facebook, which owns Instagram, Google, of course, which owns YouTube, and everybody has their face everywhere. Everywhere. You'll never see my face. I'll tell you that, because I know better. But the fact is that, guys, we have our kids putting their face all over the place. You have to, I'm not saying that you have to take it totally out me. I don't do it. I don't agree with it. But the fact is that basically, if you do want it, you want that same picture up everywhere you go. You don't want different pictures, because what they're doing is that they're taking different expressions. So therefore, everything is recognized. So they can create a clone of you. Say you were somewhere that you wasn't. And believe me, you may think that's not going to happen. It will pretty soon. That's how far technology is going. So if you're going to post a picture, post that same picture everywhere. I mean, everywhere. Don't use different photos. Tell your kids, do the same thing. You're going to be posting pictures. They want to dance and all that. Basically, just like I said, I don't agree with it. If they want to dance, do the neck below or the waist below, and show the move, whatever they're doing. Well, they can use neck below, because a lot of these dances, you got to use your arms too. But guys, this is so important. So while you're having your kids on there, adults having fun, they're taking all that data. So of course, I'm older. It's the same way when they bought in cell phones. Cell phones basically is GPS. It's an ankle bracelet. That's all it is. So the fact is that you're paying the company to monitor you. So that's how they got us with the cell phone. Remember when they first bought in the cell phone? Oh, it's just for emergencies. You don't have to take it everywhere. But just in case if you're traveling, that's how they sold us the cell phone. We were used to the landline. So the fact is that the same way they're doing with this data, they're letting you have fun, playing around, watching videos, making videos, while they take all this data and going to use it against you. So that's so important. So getting over to the market and with the Fed. Now the Fed kept the rates at 0. Guys, 0 is not good. Of course, we're in debt, debtor nation. But the fact is that there is no such thing as debt. If you're conscious and you understand that if you're able to print as much money as you want, there is no such thing as debt. But that's what they sell us, debt nation. So the fact is that basically you have us at 0. You have pensions. You have 401ks, IRAs. They're not getting any interest. They're not making any money. That's the reason why our baby boomers have to work so long, because they're not getting any of that interest. Before, you had $300,000, $400,000 in the bank. I remember my grandmother used to get those checks every single month. She was able to live off those for a long time until she got into her late 80s, 90s, when we had to help her out. But the fact is that she was able to live off that interest. The houses that she owned, the rental income, you take all that, put it in the bank, the savings account, and she was getting those checks monthly from that. So the fact is that, guys, you have somebody with $500,000, $350,000 sitting in the bank, they're not gaining any interest, and they could have lived off that $35,000, $50,000. You can live off of that, because a lot of people go up north, work up north, and then they retire, go down south. They can live off that interest. There is no interest to live off of. So that's the reason why our baby boomers have to work so long, and you're thinking they're working long, imagine what you're going to have to do. That's the reason why you cannot save anymore. You have to keep recycling and investing your money. You have to do it. That is the game. They're going to teach you to save while they're keep investing. You have to invest. And I understand a lot of people don't want to take the risk. Guys, there is no risk when you understand the game is rigged. There is no risk. There is none once you sit down and study. Yes, you do have to study for a while. You do have to take a small amount of money, play with it. But once you understand the system, it's easy. So the fact is that, guys, we have another left doing layoffs. That's sinking in with China. Guys, the fact is that AI, automation, all that, you're not going to have anybody driving these Uber and Lyft cars. All this is going to be automated. AI, that's the whole point of these cryptos. The cryptos are not for us. The cryptos are for these robots. They don't need a human interaction. So I just want us to make sure we understand that. And I want to drive that home. I'm going to stay on China constantly because they're the ones moving. They're the leaders. And the only thing we're doing is following. And we have to understand that. But guys, that's all I have for you. Don't forget about the books, Cryptoteacher, also the NWO book, also the links below if you're new to cryptos, you want to buy Binance, Bitrue, Coinbase. Also, basically your stocks. You have the banks, never bet against the banks, your chip stocks, your cobalt, the gaming stocks. Also, everybody's sitting at home. Those are temporary stocks, but invest, so therefore you can make quick money. Also, the biotech stocks, they're selling the C word. So the C word right now, whatever potion they come up with, they're going to try to sell it, invest in those stocks. Also, everybody's sitting at home. Anxiety, depression. We have over 26 million people out of work. What do? They drink and they smoke weed. But I am going to be starting doing videos. So therefore, people can understand that the mind is very, very important. So therefore, if you're thinking good thoughts, if you're thinking richness, it's going to happen. We are controllers of our universe, and we must understand that. So if you do have someone that's lost their job, basically the only thing they have to do is speak life in themselves. They'll be right back. Of course, you can make more money now sitting at home than you can do going out. Start your own business. It's very easy now. Very easy. Everything is going to the technology phase. We have to understand that. But it's like I said, don't forget about the alcohol, weed stocks. They're definitely going to go up, and y'all have a wonderful day.